Hello there, James here. I've been here to make another video that I hope you find pleasant. This time, I'm going to show you a couple of videos on the back feed about racial equality and what countries to go to. And then I'm going to do a video, show you a couple short clips of, what good places to go if you're a black person, what cities and towns in the United States. So I hope you enjoy this video. This is going to be on racial equality.
Top 10 Best Countries for Racial Equality. Race prejudice is the opinion that one race is inferior or superior to another, and that a person's biological qualities influence his or her moral and social characteristics. Those who hold racist attitudes may consider other races to be less worthy, and in extreme circumstances, even subhuman, in comparison to themselves. Racism may take many different shapes and present itself in many different ways, and it is often impacted by a variety of cultural, religious, economic, and historical influences, among other things. Racial discrimination perpetrated by Western nations against non-Westerners during the 19th century has had a significant influence on history, most notably in the forced enslavement of hundreds of thousands of Africans. Slavery was the fundamental cause of the American Civil War, which took place in the United States. Another example can be found in events such as Black Lives Matter and the demonstrations planned for 2020 to 21 in response. Here is a list of top 10 least racist countries. Number 10, Austria. In Austria, there are 3 traditional ethnic minorities that have found themselves within the country as a result of changes in European boundary lines over the course of several centuries. They are Slovenes, Croats, and Hungarians from the Carinthian region. None of these organizations has a membership greater than 50,000 people, and all of their rights are guaranteed by law. Modern immigration has resulted in the formation of a number of significant new ethnic groups in Austria, some of which are now considered significant. Most notably, more than 300,000 individuals from the former Yugoslavia, as well as more than 300,000 from Turkey, moved to Austria during and after the conflicts there. Many have become naturalized citizens of Austria and are now considered to be citizens of the country. As a result, it is considered to be one of the least racist countries in the world. Number 9, Belgium. In terms of ethnicity, the Flemish community constitutes the vast majority of the population of Belgium. Flemish speakers account for more than 6 million of Belgium's residents, whereas the French-speaking Walloons, albeit a minority, are the country's second largest population group, with over 3.6 million people. Tiny groups of minorities exist in small areas across the nation, in addition to the 2 primary demographic groupings, including over 77,000 German-speaking citizens who live close to the Belgian-German border, as well as other groups of minorities. Belgium is a country with the biggest number of residents among the immigrants, with over 500,000 people residing in various locations throughout Belgium. A considerable number of persons from Turkey are among the next largest ethnic groups of immigrants, and they are found in significant numbers across Belgium. Overall, Belgium has a diverse population of people that come from a variety of various ethnic backgrounds. This moves it up to the 9th position on our list. Number 8, Norway. People who practice religion in Norway are predominantly Christian, with 68.7% claiming affiliation with the Church of Norway, Evangelical Lutheran Official, 2.8% claiming affiliation with the Roman Catholic Church, and the remaining 3% claiming affiliation with another Christian denomination. Muslims account for 3.4% of the Norwegian population, whereas 2% adhere to a different religion and 16.8% are unaffiliated with any religious group. Early Norwegians practiced Norse paganism, as did all individuals of Scandinavian descent. Around the year 1000, missionaries arrived in the region and introduced Christianity to people. It has a rather diversified culture, with individuals from a variety of ethnic backgrounds. Number 7, Switzerland. Because Switzerland has several borders with other nations, there is a diverse spectrum of external factors at work in the country's affairs. Italy, France, Germany, Austria, and Liechtenstein are among the countries that share these boundaries. Despite the fact that the country has 4 official languages, Swiss German, French, Italian, and Romansh, foreign employees and temporary outside residents are estimated to account for 22% of the total population. It shares borders with a number of other nations, allowing for a greater number of people to become acquainted with their culture. Switzerland has earned the right to be ranked 7th on this list. Number 6. Finland. Finland is a country with a high degree of ethnic homogeneity. The majority of the people is of Finnish descent. The first occupants of the area were hunter-gatherers who were most closely connected to the modern-day Sami people of Finland in terms of lifestyle. In Finland, there are over 8,000 Sami people and are legally recognized as a minority, according to government statistics. The Sami people have been living in north of the Arctic Circle for more than 7,000 years. The Sami people constitute a minority of 5% in the Lapland province, according to official figures. Finland does not collect or maintain government statistics on ethnic groups. Only 3.5% of the population is made up of foreign citizens, which is one of the lowest rates in the European Union and one of the lowest in the world. Estonia, Russia, and Sweden are the countries with the highest proportion of foreign citizens. Number 5. Denmark. As a result of its low economic disparity, high-quality healthcare, and outstanding education, Denmark is frequently regarded as one of the world's happiest countries. With a score of 7.555 out of 10, it is presently rated 3rd in the world as of 2018. People of Danish origin account for over 90% of Denmark's population, which implies they have at least one parent who was born in the nation and has Danish citizenship, the vast majority of whom come from Turkey, Somalia, Iraq, South Asia, the Middle East, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, among other countries and regions. Number 4. Sweden. Sweden is home to individuals from the indigenous population of Swedes, as well as persons born abroad or as first-generation immigrants, such as Turks, Greeks, Finns, Yugoslavs, Danes, and Norwegians, as well as people from other countries. Christianity is the most popular religion in Sweden, accounting for 66.8% of the population. Other religions such as Orthodox, Roman Catholic, Baptist, Muslim, Buddhist, and Jewish each account for 13% of the population when all religions are included. The official language is Swedish, however there are also tiny Sami and Finnish-speaking communities in the country, as well as other languages spoken. Number 3. New Zealand. As far as demographics are concerned, European settlers surpassed the indigenous Maoris in terms of population as early as the 19th century. Approximately 71% of the country's population of almost 5 million people identified themselves as being of European heritage. Maoris made up 16.5% of the population, with people of Asian descent making up another 15.3% of the population. Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, and others are the religions practiced by New Zealanders. All of this contributes to New Zealand being one of the most racially equitable countries in the world. Number 2. Canada. Outside of Canada, an amazing 2.8 million Canadian citizens dwell. This is comparable to 9% of the total Canadian population. By comparison, only 1.7% of US residents live overseas, compared to more than 20% of New Zealanders. The United States is home to around 1 million Canadians. The second most popular destination is Hong Kong, which is home to almost 300,000 Canadians. More than half of Canadians living outside of Canada are naturalized citizens who have returned to the country of their origin. Most, but not all, despite the fact that they were born in Canada. Canada is well known for its universal healthcare system and overall commitment to its inhabitants, which is financed by comparatively high tax rates of 33% on personal income and 15% on corporate revenue. For the last few years, government expenditure has accounted for somewhat more than 40% of the country's GDP. Religion in Canada encompasses a broad range of groups and views. Here, virtually every major global religion, creed, and denomination has a sizable population, including Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Sikhism. As in other nations, religion has declined in Canada as more individuals identify as religiously unaffiliated. Number 1. Netherlands. The majority of the population is Dutch, accounting for 79.3% of the total. They are the country's largest ethnic group. Other ethnic minorities include Europeans, Turks, Indo-Europeans, Moroccans, Surinamese, Caribbeans, Poles, Chinese, and Iraqis. Netherlands is the most tolerant population in the world, with the majority of the population living peacefully with other ethnic groups. There are a few variables that may be examined to acquire a better knowledge of the country's quality of life. Healthcare, literacy, and increased access to water and sanitation are all included in the Quality of Life Index.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I think that would be the last country if I would, want to live overseas. Probably be the Netherlands. Some of the other places I don't know too much about. But if you're a black, any person, black or any other race that want to go to these countries with quality, that's one of the places. But anyway, for my black viewers, this is for you. In America, just in case you don't want to live overseas, there's a couple of videos on where you want to live, the best small towns by Black Excellence.
Our new Epcot home's perfect for us. Plenty of room to host the whole family for dinners, but it's not so big that we have to spend all the time maintaining.
And maybe your opinion might
process playing.
But just to get out the United States, but if you feel.
Hello and welcome
I'll tell you
back.
afterwards.
In this Black Excellence series, we will highlight the top 10 small towns for Black Americans.
Welcome to Black Excellence. This is where we celebrate Black excellence, achievement, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
Maybe you're looking for a town that is progressive, diverse, and appreciative of all of its citizens. Or maybe you're looking to relocate where people are more community-minded, intimacy fosters more genuine connections, and simple experiences are valued over objects. Whatever your motivation, we have found 10 small American towns that may help you appreciate life's small moments and craft a lifestyle that will bring you and your family happiness. In this exclusive Black Excellence presentation, we will highlight the top 10 small towns in America for Black Americans. Number 1, Missouri City, Texas. Missouri City is part of the Houston Sugar Land Baytown metropolitan area, functioning as a suburb of Houston. Missouri City is considered one of the best places to live in Texas, offering residents a rural feel but can be generally more fast-paced than the surrounding suburban areas. But it's a diverse town with a variety of cultures where you will feel welcome in a tight-knit community. It's a safe town where there isn't a problem finding new things to do, locating affordable housing, enrolling your children in highly rated public schools, and securing a variety of high-paying jobs. Number 2, Bowie, Maryland. Bowie is a suburb of Washington, D.C. in Prince George's County and is one of the best places to live in Maryland. Living in Bowie offers residents easy access to major metropolitan centers and the woodsy ambiance of a quintessential small American town at the same time. This central Maryland town is an award winner for its smart and innovative energy use policies and its commitment to its citizens' healthy eating and active living lifestyles. The town's high-quality annual town festivals that celebrate its diversity and arts culture and its many public recreational facilities make it a great place for anyone to live. Number 3, Uniondale, New York. Uniondale is a suburb of New York City in Nassau County, a residential hamlet lying on the southern end of Long Island. It offers residents a dense suburban feel characterized by an ethnically diverse, middle-income area of small, affordable single-family homes. The cost of living in Uniondale is lower than the national average, which makes it appealing to African American professionals. What it lacks in local amenities like major parks or a traditional downtown commercial area, Uniondale makes up for with close proximity to some of the major institutions and attractions in Nassau County. Number 4, Beaufort, South Carolina. With its small population of 13,000, Beaufort is a charming coastal southern town that could be a great fit. Also known as the Queen of the Sea Islands, Beaufort is known for its tight community, small town charm, and deep-rooted history. A good percentage of its population is black, and it is a lovely, walkable town with numerous restaurants and a boardwalk with awesome views of the water. It has southern country charm, and perhaps the most interesting aspect of Beaufort's narrative is the amazing preserved history of the Gullah culture, a culture unique to Low Country. Number 5, Rolesville, North Carolina. Rolesville is a hidden gem in the northeastern corner of Wake County, with easy connection to Raleigh. As the second oldest town in Wake County, Rolesville provides residents with a small town and suburban feeling of living. Although it is considered one of the fastest growing small towns in the state, residents and visitors alike encounter a warm, welcoming spirit, small town pride, and genuine community as they explore greenway trails, parks, historic sites, and sunken treasures. Rolesville is a pleasure to rediscover all year round. Seasonal fun abounds with hometown favorites like the Rolesville 4th of July Festival, the Town of Rolesville Movie Night series throughout the summer, and the town's Christmas parade. Number 6, Waldorf, Maryland. Sometimes referred to as Beantown, Waldorf, Maryland is a peaceful suburb located a little more than 20 miles southeast of Washington, D.C. The majority of residents are black, many with college degrees. There are plenty of things to do, including great dining, shopping, and entertainment options. Waldorf's real estate primarily consists of single-family homes and duplex-style townhouses, with the majority of residents working in the metro area. A popular characteristic of Waldorf is the Regency Furniture Baseball Complex, green spaces for biking and hiking, and community parks with soccer fields, playgrounds, and family fun.
Wow, but let me see. I can point. Now here is the top 5 cities.
Top 5 cities that Black Americans are moving to. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta is a thriving city with a large black population, a strong economy, and a vibrant culture. Many Black Americans are attracted to the city for its job opportunities and community. Houston, Texas. Houston is another city with a large black population and a strong economy. It has a diverse range of industries, including oil and gas, healthcare, and aerospace, which can provide good job opportunities for Black Americans. Dallas, Texas. Dallas is a rapidly growing city with a diverse population and a strong job market. It also has a lower cost of living than some other large cities, which can be attractive for Black Americans. Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is a relatively affordable city with a growing economy and a diverse population. It has a strong financial sector, which can provide job opportunities for Black Americans. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. has a large black population and is the political center of the United States. Many Black Americans are attracted to the city for its history and cultural significance. Top 5 cities that Black Americans are leaving. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago has a high crime rate and is struggling with economic issues, which can make it a difficult place to live. Many Black Americans are leaving the city for safer and more affordable areas. New York, New York. New York City has a high cost of living and can be a difficult place to find affordable housing. Many Black Americans are leaving the city for more affordable areas. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is also a very expensive city, and many Black Americans are leaving for more affordable areas. It also has a high level of income inequality, which can make it difficult for some people to succeed. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore has struggled with crime and economic issues, which can make it a difficult place to live. Many Black Americans are leaving the city for safer and more affordable areas. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit has struggled with economic issues for many years, and many Black Americans are leaving the city for better job opportunities and a higher quality of life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it
So I'm surprised Washington D.C. I mean, though it's a nice place, but it's kind of they're kind of high too. But I think the places outside of Washington D.C. But I think anything around D.C. is kind of expensive for anybody. But particularly if you're black. But yeah. So that well, here's another video that talks.
The 10 most popular cities for Black Americans to move into and out. The African American people are constantly proving to be masters of their own destiny. And if that leads to 2 mass migrations ever seen in the history of the United States, then so be it. In today's video, we will look at the great black exodus occurring right now in the United States. With black members of society quickly achieving affluence, the rigors of city life in the northern states may no longer be appealing to them or suitable to their current lifestyle. What does this mean for one of the largest ethnic groups in America? Let's find out.
More people are moving to the south and leaving northern cities behind.
Black people relocating from major northern and western cities to suburbs or to the south has accelerated in the past decade.
And black Americans are moving back down south.
Says that blacks in America should migrate to the south so that there will be black majority states and cities.
Until the early 1900s, African Americans were the demographic majority in Southern America, with nearly 91% of residents being black Americans. But as the century progressed, more and more black American families began migrating to the North and Midwest in an attempt to escape blatant racism, segregation, and the oppressive Jim Crow laws. The North was assumed to be a safe haven for black families escaping persecution. This was also partially due to the fact that the recent industrialization of the northern parts of America created numerous job opportunities for the black populace. An industry wage in the urban areas of northern America was 3 times what a black American would make in the South working in fields. The promise of a better future, more work opportunities, and less racial oppression motivated nearly 6 million African Americans to migrate in what is now known as the Great Migration.
The most prominent of these settlements for migrating blacks was New York City, and the art, music, and theater that emerged from this community became known as the Harlem Renaissance. These artistic achievements redefined the cultural image of blacks in America.
The black population boomed in urban cities over the next decade. From 1910 to 1920, the major cities of Northern America experienced substantial growth in their black population. Detroit experienced the most significant increase in its black population, which amounted to nearly 611%. Philadelphia experienced a 500% increase in its black population. Chicago experienced a 148% increase, and New York saw a 66% increase in its black population. Although the lives of the black population of America did improve through the Great Migration, the effects were short-lived. This can be attributed to the lingering subtle racism in the North that hindered progression and prosperity for the black community. But despite all odds, the African American community flourished and gained affluence through hard work, dedication, and academic excellence. Affluent black communities dominated the state of Maryland and cities in California. The black unemployment.
I got my first Botox cosmetic treatment on a lunch break. The treatment itself probably took 15
dominated the state of Maryland and cities in California. The black unemployment rate has fallen to its lowest recorded level of 6.8%, and blacks are filling up some of society's most prominent roles, such as doctors, lawyers, professors, athletes, and actors. The economic prosperity can, in part, be credited to more and more black Americans opting for higher education and dominating the job market. But with time, it has become apparent that these large urban cities can no longer provide the same benefits to the black community as they once did. These cities have failed the black population with their abysmal states of public education, health, laws, high crime rates, and dwindling job opportunities. With African Americans enjoying more stable household incomes, their desire for what they want in their future has changed. African Americans no longer settle for the bare minimum. In their quest for creating more generational wealth, better housing opportunities, better paying careers, closer ties to kin, and an emotional attachment to where their ancestors once resided, the black community is slowly but surely going back to their roots. The 2020 census is evidence that the once densely populated urban cities of the North are experiencing a black exodus, which is almost a mirror image of the Great Migration of the 90s. Nearly 9 million black people have left their homes, searching for a better life in the suburbs and cities of the South. As a result, the cities once hubs of black excellence are slowly but surely experiencing a steady decline in the African American community. In this video detailing the new Great Migration, we will look at the top 10 cities that black Americans are leaving for good and the top 10 most attractive cities they are moving to in no particular order. So let's get started. Number 1, New York. The black-dominated city of New York has begun to show the signs of the prominent new black migration. New York was one of the cities with the most black residents, 2.3 million. But due to increasing violence and gentrification, the city has lost this title. For example, Brooklyn experienced a sharp decline in its black residents from 849,000 in 2000 to 799,000 in 2010. Number 2, Chicago. In Chicago's Cook County, over 14,000 residents have left their homes between 2016 and 2017. Black Americans recognize the gentrification and safety issues surrounding Chicago. As a result, they have begun to leave the once heavily populated city for suburban areas in the South where they can enjoy more cost-effective housing and safe neighborhoods. Illinois in particular has lost several industrial workers, which directly led the city to lose a seat in Congress. Number 3, Detroit. Detroit formerly had the nation's third largest black community. However, this number has fallen over the years, and the decline seems to widen with time. The percentage of black residents has fallen from 82% in 2010 to 80% in 2015. Much of this can be attributed to the increasing crime rates in Detroit and the lack of affordable housing. Number 4, Philadelphia. Philadelphia experienced the most significant number of black migrants in the first wave of the Great Migration. But with time, it is also experiencing the effects of the black exodus. Philadelphia lost more than 30,000 African American residents from 2010 to 2020. This is the biggest population fall within a decade in census records.
Whoa.
The lack of future prospects and generalized low living standards was one of the primary reasons for the mass exodus of the black community from Philly. Number 5, Los Angeles. The population of African Americans has declined in Los Angeles over the years. California has experienced over 275,000 black Americans leaving its coastal cities due to racial politics and high cost of living. Number 6, Cleveland. Cleveland was a popular destination for migrant black families in the past due to its relative economic stability, good living standards, and fast-paced work life. However, Cleveland has also reported a drop in its black population, with nearly 33,000 residents leaving the city. Reasons for the outward migration include the loss of jobs due to the state's deindustrialization. Number 7, Baltimore. The U.S. Census has revealed that nearly 7,000 individuals, most of whom are African Americans, have left the city of Baltimore. Baltimore is still a densely populated black majority area. Still, it has also seen numerous black Americans walk out because of issues with city governance, high crime rates, and rapid urban decay. Number 8, Jackson. Jackson lacks quality educational institutes and high-paying jobs that most young African Americans seek. For this reason, the state is beginning to see a decline in its African American population. Overall, the state of Mississippi has experienced a loss of over 13,940 black residents. Number 9, St. Louis. The lack of access to good educational institutes, low living standards, and few job opportunities is driving the black community out of St. Louis. As a result, what was once a popular city for black migrants is now seeing African Americans walk out in large numbers. The 2020 census shows over 27,396 black residents have migrated from the city. Number 10, Milwaukee. The city of Milwaukee has been burdened with extreme winter climate, high taxation, and a non-prosperous job market. It is relatively difficult for the black community to prosper in an area with numerous political-induced challenges. It is estimated that 1 in 3 black Americans live below the poverty line in Milwaukee. For this reason, Milwaukee has seen 8,378 or a 3% drop in its black population. Now, let's see where everyone's headed. The South, Southwestern, and Western states are where the black community is now looking to call home. The urban renaissance brought about by black Americans entering the urban workforce has ended as blacks retreat to what was once their home. The numbers are evidence that the following cities are the new face of the black community.
This is Tina. She's a restless sleeper, but not for long, because this weekend at Haverty's, Tina can save up to $800
face of the black community and the new Great Migration. Number 1, Fort Worth. For the first time ever, the
the black community in Fort Worth is surpassing the 1 million mark. Fort Worth has a high concentration of Fortune 500 companies, so it's an excellent place for business owners and corporate professionals to thrive. Fort Worth also boasts relatively low living costs, prime real estate, and low crime rates. Number 2, Jacksonville. One key factor that has led the black community shifting back to Jacksonville is its diverse and ever-growing economic climate. As a result, African Americans can find high-paying jobs in some of the most competitive industries of America in Jacksonville. These sectors include health, IT, finance, and technology. Number 3, Charlotte. Charlotte has the second best banking sector in all America and a rapidly developing tech industry. As a result, numerous black banking and tech professionals have moved to Charlotte to take advantage of these booming industries in the city. Additionally, Charlotte is much safer, has a higher living standard, has well-known universities, and offers better economic opportunities to black residents. Number 4, Atlanta. Atlanta now has overtaken Chicago as the city with the second largest concentration of black individuals. Its African American population has almost doubled in the 2 decades between 1990 and 2020, reaching over 2 million black residents. Additionally, Atlanta's diverse culture, fast-paced work environment, and higher living standards have attracted numerous African American families over the past decades. Number 5, Houston. Houston, Texas has recently seen a boom in its African American community like never before. And the main driving factor for this is the low housing costs in Texas and, of course, the prospect of well-paying jobs. Houston also has a rich and diverse culture with no racial disparity, making living much more peaceful for the black community. Number 6, Dallas. Another Texas city that has made it to the list is Dallas. Dallas is particularly attractive because of its low cost of living, low unemployment rate, low crime rate, better education institutes, and even better health care. Besides this, the numerous corporate professionals in the black community can easily find well-paying jobs in the bustling city, whereas business owners can take advantage of their lenient laws. Number 7, Seattle. Seattle's industrial and tech industries are major factors that have driven the African American community to move to this area. But other ethnic groups have also taken note of Seattle's tremendous growth potential, and the city has been able to grow its population steadily. The city is well known for having numerous excellent educational institutes and large companies where job opportunities are ripe. Number 8, Las Vegas. No income tax, considerably low living costs, a multicultural society, and a sunny climate make Las Vegas one of the best cities for black Americans to move into. The African American community has been moving into the happening city of Las Vegas from areas such as Los Angeles in hordes. For this reason, Las Vegas has the highest growth rate of all the metros and have recently experienced an increase in their black population. Las Vegas' infamous casinos and buzzing tourism industry ensure that there's abundant jobs for all its residents. Number 9, Orlando. The city has seen an increase in its black population over the years because of its low tax rates, diverse culture, robust job market, cheaper housing, and numerous excellent higher education institutes nearby. Additionally, as a community rising in the corporate sector, Orlando is the perfect place for well-educated African Americans looking for growth opportunities. Number 10, Minneapolis. Minneapolis is seen as a hub of multiculturalism and has attracted much of the African community formerly residing in Chicago. The city has excellent infrastructure, a low crime rate, better education facilities, and numerous work opportunities for its black residents. The better living standards and low unemployment rates make the Twin Cities a great place for the African American community to thrive. That's all for the most popular cities in America for black
Minneapolis? Are you serious? In Seattle? Wow, I've heard some incidents out there in Seattle with the black people out there. But Minneapolis? Especially what's been going on up there. Wow. But anyway, yeah, the reason why is just that police, I think you're just better off just going down to the southern states, you know. But did you notice that there was no Midwestern states? So yeah, so you no Idaho, no Montana, no Wyoming, hey, if you no none of that, no Utah, nope.
If we
That's where most of it's at. At least you feel comfortable though. Somewhat comfortable. It depends on what counties you are in the South too. Because you gotta make sure you stay in those counties. Well, they'll probably let you know the people that.
With an exciting new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer activities. Sorry.
Maybe you're getting close to retirement age and you're looking for a place to relocate to enjoy your golden years. Maybe you're part of the FIRE movement looking to retire early and find an affordable place to call home. Either way, today's episode is all about attractive cities for retirement in the U.S. Hi, my name is Jared and welcome to Black Excellence, where we share interesting things in Black culture and society in every episode. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notified when we release new videos. After doing extensive research, we have compiled a list of 10 cities where retirees have expressed high quality of life. Some things are not surprising, like all the cities being either in the south or southwest, which equals warmer weather. Other things are surprising, like finding out some cities we never thought about ranking high on the satisfaction list. In no particular order, let's start with number 1, Sarasota, Florida. Picture a warm beach town with white sand beaches and sparkling water. You're imagining Sarasota, Florida, a popular destination for retirees. And recently, this city has been attracting more and more Black retirees. Sarasota has been ranked the number 1 best place to retire in the U.S. for multiple years due to its high ranking on housing affordability, happiness, favorable retiree taxes, and a good job market and access to quality health care. Its location along the Gulf Coast of Mexico also means Sarasota has miles and miles of beaches for those seeking to retire by the beach. Number 2, Nashville, Tennessee. Vibrant music and culture scene, mild climate, and small town feel with big city options makes Nashville a top choice for retirees. If you're a huge fan of live music, Nashville is a no-brainer, but that's not all it has to offer. There are plenty of outdoor activities with massive parks, museums, and an ever-expanding food scene. If you like downtown living, Nashville is a great choice. This city is also tax-friendly for retirees and ranks 3% below the national average for cost of living for retirees. Number 3, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The state of South Carolina does not tax Social Security, provides a favorable retirement income deduction for state income tax, and has one of the lowest property taxes of any state. Combine that with beachside living, and retiring in popular Myrtle Beach becomes an attractive option. Myrtle Beach has over 60 miles of shoreline, 90 golf courses, and over 600 fire arts events every year for those looking to lead an active lifestyle. There is also Atlantic Beach, nicknamed Black Pearl, a historical Black beach in the area with Black-owned businesses that attracts hundreds of thousands of tourists every summer. Number 4, Tampa, Florida. Florida has long been the capital of retirement destinations, and Tampa is one of the most popular cities. This beach city attracts both retirees and college students and is home to the University of Tampa and Hillsborough Community College. There are plenty of 55-plus housing options, whether you prefer suburb living or condo living. There are also great options for healthcare and entertainment, from sporting teams to a live music scene and cultural neighborhoods. Number 5, Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is one of the most affordable places to live on our list, so your retirement income will go much further here. The state of North Carolina in general has seen a great migration of people 60 and older, and that has as much to do with the affordable living as the milder weather. Nicknamed the City of Oaks, Raleigh is one of the fastest growing cities in North Carolina. There is plenty of green space here with top-notch healthcare facilities and historic attractions. Raleigh is also part of the Raleigh-Durham-Chapel Hill Triangle. Number 6, Savannah, Georgia. If you're looking for a super charming and affordable city to retire in,
Savannah might be the one for you. With a population of 145,000, Savannah has world-class golf courses, museums, plenty of shopping, and is located to the popular coastal cities and beaches. The state of Georgia is also tax-friendly for retirees, with no tax on Social Security and beneficial tax rules for retirement income. One thing that might be considered a con for this city is the higher than average healthcare costs, so make sure to look into that if you're considering Savannah as your retirement destination. Number 7, Tucson, Arizona. If you enjoy the Southwest scenery and warm winters, consider Tucson as your retirement city. This fairly large city with a population of over 500,000 has an overall cost of living that is 3% lower than the national average. This city is also a better alternative than Phoenix for retirees, as it is less congested and has better air quality. There is also plenty of museums, dining options, and annual festivals. The drawback to Tucson is the scorching summer heat, but you will be a short flight away from California for weekend beach getaways. And number 8, Grand Prairie, Texas. Grand Prairie has recently been ranked as one of the best U.S. cities for Black Americans by Smart Asset. 23% of the city's population identify as Black, and Grand Prairie is Dallas-Fort Worth's 6th most diverse suburb. Grand Prairie has high home ownership rates, plenty of parks, and a small town feel while being close to a big city like Dallas. Plenty of young families are moving to Grand Prairie also, making it a great place for those looking to be close to kids and grandkids. The work marketplace is strong with very low unemployment numbers. Number 9, Charlottesville, Virginia. Okay, Charlottesville is not exactly the cheapest place to retire, as it has a 3% higher living cost than the national average, but its senior-friendly community has landed it on our list. Charlottesville ranked number 5 out of 186 cities on the Gallup ShareCare Wellbeing Index, an index that measures sense of purpose, good health, community enjoyment, and social relationships. For those who enjoy the mountains, Charlottesville's location in the eastern foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains is a plus. The city is also home to the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at the University of Virginia with courses tailored to seniors. And at number 10, last but not least, we have Winston-Salem, North Carolina. North Carolina was one of the most popular destinations to relocate to in the last few years. The city of Winston-Salem is another great destination in the state for retirees. With a population of 246,000, Winston-Salem is ideal for those looking for a retirement city that's not too big and not too small. In this city, the cost of living is about 10% lower than the national average, and the winters are fairly mild for those coming from colder places like the Northeast. There are also plenty of activities from historical gardens to a vibrant downtown and a craft beer and wine scene. For those interested in taking some classes in retirement, Winston-Salem is also a great college town. So what did you think of our list? Which cities on the list would you pick as your...
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting, this room getting dark, outlook on the city. So if you guys out there, just, I would try one of them cities. If you get tired of those big cities and like Chicago and LA and wherever part of the country you from, and the South is it. And I've heard other commentaries mention about this too, and that you grow in more mass in that part of the country, then you can have something political. Then, be careful when you go down in them states. Of course, you have a good idea what counties to go to down there and things like that. But yeah, that's a good idea. To go down there and raise a family, retire. I mean, I'm in a pretty decent city. Columbus is pretty decent, but it's not like those cities where it's mostly where the tax base and things, and I mean, it has a drawback, but at least with the other places, in the climate, like some place like Nashville, I couldn't really live there because the pollen there, because I suffer allergies, like majority of Americans do, and I know that the pollen in some places like parts of Georgia, parts of Tennessee, Ohio, when them trees blossom, it's like, oh my goodness. So being in Ohio, we kind of suffer up here, and I think the further you get down south, it gets worse. The pollen count gets even higher down there. So that's one of the reason. And then it's the humidity. I would say down there is you got unless you can withstand that humidity. It gets humidity hot days up there, but it gets really hot down there. Down from what I heard from down south, and I don't think I want to be down in the summertime. Like, some place I think Texas is nice, but I couldn't imagine being down there when it like 90 to 100 degrees. Texas get pretty hot, and Louisiana and Mississippi. So, and then it's dry land. I guess it wouldn't be so bad if you're next to the water, but if you not near water or something, ooh, Lord. And then you got to consider what kind of bugs and insects you got to contend with down there. But if you can withstand all that, you good. Then the weather patterns down there, if you decide to go to Florida, it comes up to the Carolinas, but like Florida really gets hit with some hurricanes and things. But yeah, I think. But other than that, I think it would be a good place to go. But the reason why I show the countries, because maybe some people from all walks of life will be looking at this channel who wants to go where it's racially equity, because I don't know who views my channel. They might want to try over in them other countries to live if they get tired of America, and it's always something good to put some positive, because I've always put negative about racism, and so it was kind of good to make a change. I hope that everything go right. The last video I did, I hope I don't get no copyright strike or anything like that. I'm just trying to show a positive outlook, and maybe the algorithm even get better. But anyway, this is something positive and something to look at. And there was a video I was checking out, and really, if you're African American, I was checking out this one video, and this guy who is he was saying that he's a white guy. He was saying that his sister husband is black, and he was saying that how he was worried about his sister going towards Colorado, like these Midwestern states, and because they live in he said Illinois, and some places in Illinois are sundown towns, and he was saying that he was concerned with his sister and her boyfriend, but going to Colorado, but once he said, I guess Colorado was okay, but might go through some things, but he said going through them other states, that's what he's concerned with. Nebraska and Kansas and Nebraska and a couple other states that whatever leads over that way towards Colorado, he was concerned about their welfare. And it was really interesting, but it's a long video. But I hope I'm gonna have to maybe I can show you a snippet of it right quick. Try not to make it too long.
We decided we wanted to open up a small pizzeria that not only serves the best pizza, but kind of was like the best place to work as well. Employees will all...
I won't play all
this. This research story starts with me discussing with my sister her little road trip to Colorado this summer that she is taking with her boyfriend. My family and I were discussing it. I don't know who brought it up. I think it was me. Her boyfriend is black, so I think I asked, you're not going through, any scary towns, are you? Any sundown towns? Although I do think that he's significantly safer with her in the car, I worry sometimes. They're going from Illinois to Colorado, so it was Iowa and Nebraska that made me raise an eyebrow there. This launched me into my first minor research into sundown towns, present and past. As soon as I asked this question to her and she said she didn't know, of course, I do a little Googling. And I am immediately affronted by this graphic. Yeah, no, seeing this map was not what I expected to see. I'm sorry, look at the fucking dot over Indiana and Illinois. Like, it just, you might as well just put one huge red circle over the 3 states of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. I was flabbergasted, concerned. I had a Northern American brain moment where I didn't seem to realize that sundown towns primarily existed in the Midwest in comparison to the rest of the country. In hindsight, that was a stupid North good, South bad bias that I shouldn't have had. And today we're going to shake up your North good, South bad bias, because sundown towns are not primarily in the South, and in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense given, you know, history. I immediately started to do some research. I read Sundown Towns by James Lowen, which is just a chunk of a book. It is like 500 pages of research. It was published in 2006, so some of the data is a little bit outdated. I would like some, you know, updated data. I will be frequently quoting Sundown Towns by James Lowen throughout this video. He defines a sundown town as any organized jurisdiction that for decades kept African Americans or other groups from living in it, and thus all white on purpose. He goes on to explain that all white is in quotation marks because he believes that even if you have, like, you know, 5 African American folks living in your town, you still can be a sundown town because, like, why are only 5 African Americans living amongst 17,000 white people? It's a little suspicious. In fact, James Lowen had the same surprise I did finding out about Illinois. I live in Illinois. I've been upfront about that. Hi. I was flabbergasted, just disgusted by the amount of historical and potentially present-day sundown towns there are in Illinois. And I will read a quote from James that sort of encapsulates, you know, that surprise. In 1999, when I started serious research on these communities, I expected to find perhaps 10 in Illinois, my home state, and maybe 50 across the country. I had no idea how widespread the practice was. Neither did anyone else I talked with. Today, my estimate for the number of sundown towns in Illinois alone stands at 507. That is 2/3 of all the towns in the state. A similar proportion went sundown in Oregon, Indiana, and various other northern states. 507. 507 historical sundown towns. Are all of them remaining still sundown towns today? Not necessarily. That was a shock, a slap in the face with reality, I think. And in hindsight, once again, I really should have known better. Because I know that some small, especially Midwestern towns and, you know, the rich suburbs are racist. I know that. I just didn't understand the prevalence of sundown towns until now. And once again, it, in hindsight, makes a lot of sense for a couple different reasons, especially after reading some history and, you know, putting the context together. A sundown town needs to be all white or without black people to be considered a sundown town. A majority of the black population in the United States historically and presently live in the South, which that is due to the history of slavery. And with that being said, creating a town that does not have black people in it, when a majority of the black population is, you know, in the area, is much, much more difficult. So it makes sense that there's less sundown towns in the South than there are in the Midwest, because there are less black people in the Midwest. Additionally, because there were not black people up north often until, the black slaves were freed and until the Great Migration, white people up north were not used to seeing black people around them, or most other races, to be honest. While people down south were slave owners and were, used to being around black people for nefarious reasons, people up north were more likely to be exclusionary of black people because they were not, used to them being in their towns and being around them. So it makes sense that of a racist white population, the northern ones would be exclusionary. This is also coupled with the fact, and my last reason why this should have been obvious, white people up north, while they were exclusionary, white people down south were sort of flabbergasted that white people up north were exclusionary of black people in their towns, because white people down south were like, why would you do that when you can exploit them for their labor? So, I mean, this is, to make sure we all understand here, this video is not Midwest bad, South good. This is Midwest also bad. I need to get us on the same page here. The South was still racist. It was just, the white people down south were just racist in a different way than people in the Midwest were. People in the Midwest wanted nothing to do with black people. They wanted to exclude black people, wanted them out of their towns, while white people down south wanted to exploit black people for their labor, as they were already doing, but now they had to pay them to do it. Of course, it was less than they would pay a white person, and they still, enforced curfew on black people down south as well, but they did not exclude them from their towns as often as white people did in the Midwest. So in hindsight, altogether, given the history of slavery, it makes sense that there would be less sundown towns in the South, or the traditional South, than, in the Midwest. Indiana and Illinois are some of the worst states for sundown towns, specifically. I know Ohio is too. Illinois and Indiana just had whole sundown counties, not even towns, sundown counties. And like I said before, the traditional South, like Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, is less likely to have sundown towns than, like, the less traditional South. Like, for instance, there is a smattering of sundown towns in, the Appalachia, the Ozarks, the Cumberlands, Florida, North and West Texas. So it's not like they weren't in the South. They just were less likely to be in the traditional South due to slavery. Now, I will say that some of the towns on the map that I'm going to link are recovering sundown towns, but they're noted because they're historically sundown towns. So there are, some towns that are no longer considered sundown towns. For instance, Oak Park is a suburb of Illinois, and it was created to be an all-white suburb. In fact, the first black family's home of Oak Park was firebombed on Thanksgiving in 1950. But now Oak Park has about, it is about 19% black people. So, I mean, that's not to say that a former sundown town is no longer racist, but if 19% of your population are black people, then it is no longer a sundown town. However, it is important to note that there are absolutely places in the Midwest that were historically and presently sundown towns. Particularly, the best example of this is Kenilworth, Illinois. The first African-American family to buy a home in Kenilworth had a cross burned on their lawn, although that did not deter them. Kenilworth is a very, very wealthy suburb of Chicago. In 2018, they were the 8th wealthiest town in the United States, and the wealthiest in the Midwestern United States. And as of the 2020 census, 0% of the population was black.
At My Eye Doctor, achieving your vision starts with healthy vision. Here you'll find exceptional eye care from...
I'm going to leave it right there. But you can watch more of his video. What his video is, what's his name is Nicholas Black. So you check out his channel, and you can see more of the video. But that's more reason for you to be careful of where you move at. If you're African American or anybody, if you have a spouse who's non-black, be careful. He told you, and I said on my channel, and that's why it's good to go to these bigger cities, because of more diversity. Because when you stop in these small towns like Iowa and to Wyoming to practically Kansas, you're gonna have some problems. So I hope this video really watch where you lay down your roots. If you're a black man, a black woman, a full black family or interracial family, be careful. He's letting you know that he was nervous. He was scared, because he knows. Just people that know, at least he was. And I really admire that he was able to. Some people like to put it off like, no, no. He was straight with it. I respect what he did. I respect that he was tell you straight out what he felt, what he know, what he's probably experienced of research and heard for himself. I'm glad he told it, and I'm glad that I hope that this video, gives somebody some information. Cause this is real, Jack, and what even though some things have passed, but some things are still present in them areas, in them states, in Illinois, it's still present. In Indiana, it's still present, and here even Ohio, my state. Yeah, there's some places in Ohio still like that. They're not direct with it, but when you stop and you go to eastern part of, or to the southern part of Ohio, to the eastern part in the Appalachian areas, if you go to the northwestern of my state, you'll know. You go to northeastern part of everything in between. Anybody, if you're traveling through, truck driver, anything, stop in them. You don't believe? Stop in them little towns. You'll find out. If you black, you'll find out. You'll find out one way or another. You know the spirit. And even I would say in Pennsylvania, be careful in certain parts of Pennsylvania. I was coming through Pennsylvania one time, and it's not too far from an area where they had the 9/11 where the plane crashed. I went to this little town over there, and I went to, because I was doing the courier work. I went to spend the night, and when I walk in the store, I swear I was in this part of Pennsylvania with the whole people, like they look like he ain't from around here. And that was over near that crash site that happened back in 9/11. So yeah, it's in Pennsylvania too, and West Virginia. I've been some certain parts of New York. Yeah, but they like he said, no longer. But the spirit. They're uncomfortable, because you know how they do. If you like something that just come out of space and walked on earth, and everybody just look at you like this, and so they let you know with that look. But I'm glad he broke it down. I had to break it, so I hope this encouraged you to go to these, and if you're a black person like the big cities, and that there were towns that you can go to across the United States, go where the people is at, and like you said, be careful of the counties, even in those states what the black narrative is. Well, ask the black folks; they'll tell you. Come on down here with us, because they know them other counties. If you step in the wrong county, you might get a present day cross burning. Shit. So even to this day, Things ain't changed, but the spirit is still here of that kind of mindset. But anyway, I just didn't want to make a neck. I just wanted to bring something positive. And yeah, if you want to go to Europe, at least you have an idea. We want to visit, or you might, want to go to school, college over there. But all the other countries, outside those 6 countries, it's getting rough. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, I hope this has been very informative. Till next time, you guys take it easy. And I try to be positive with this one, but I just want to be real with it too. Be informative. So hopefully you can gain some from it. Hope you like it. Share with somebody information. Till next time, you guys take it easy. Be blessed and be careful where you go, where you travel, where you move to. Be careful, no matter where area you go to, even in the cities. Take care.